Your temperature's up? Oh, hope you're feeling better.
On May the 4th, like he might come out and just dominate, and you get a 6-star hard point.
6-star hard point. I got another 6-star rep here.
On the map.
I've been saying this for a long time though, but Kylo Ren is absolutely my favorite Disney princess. Shotzi first blood into 6-star we saw, but we've been seeing a trend here, Chance, where like kills not really being the biggest deal.
Love when Chance and Miles cast our matches. I like all the caster duos, honestly.
We'll see if it's going to be LAG right now, because your boy Flames still at it.
He's doing extremely well so far. Of course, though, no trophies out and about just yet. So a Semtex landing at his feet gonna be the match. And you are just getting peppered with every single stun and nade right now in the game. So difficult for Estriel to see alive. You could see more just landing at his feet. So I know Shotzi touched it on yesterday's interview. They just want to make sure their nades are on point, especially so for S&D, but bring him to the respawn and keep things close as you rotate over towards P2. Optic Texas currently surrounding the time, but LAG grouped up together, gonna stack the front.
Yeah, not a lot of time gained from either team, but relatively even.
This is a fine over here. It's just...
Not a lot of time gained from either team, but relatively...
What, does this guy get to the vent before Ken sees him? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we're still fine, though. Like, we're able to salvage it. This is good. Off the break, obviously, like... Yeah, we could have held from that side, but it is faster for them to get there from their side. This is all good.
Might only get the one, but dishes it out to his team. That is effectively a wipe, and LAG might.
What are your thoughts on Flames? I think he's talented. But again, for like quote unquote rookie of the year, I got to see the full stage with him. With him in like 04, we'd have to see the full stage before we like put him in rookie of the year voting or whatever. You know what I mean?
On the second, nice work over towards the third hard point. We go final 15. LAG have got themselves in a position. Kenny looking to cut off. Can't get Estriel. Perfect work there with the rival 9. Dashy up the...
This heady is insane, by the way. The heady on the desk, like if you're watching curve from the heady, that shit is crazy.
Doesn't connect. So the line is now safe for the moment. LAG into the time we now go. Hard points up. Pred on the approach. Nice trades from Estriel. Gets it himself.
Yeah, once again, great tax too. I think Optic right now on point with their usage.
This is good. Good break. We read that the guy spawns out here.
Nice trades from Estriel. Gets it himself. Yeah, once again.
Because we spawn mid here, we can read that this guy's spawning out here. That's why number 3 plays for him. We break on in. This is a good break. I think what happens right afterwards is the problem though. So we get all the kills. We start holding from like the front side here, right? And it feels like we kind of talked about this, but it feels like everyone is watching the same thing. Maybe like maybe Ant isn't the one to hold a pinch there. Maybe it's just we have Brandon do it. I don't know. This is, to me, it didn't feel like we should have got a broken in because they just go through short. They camera AG and it's tough for AG. And I feel like everyone's just watching the same thing. What about Snoopy? I wouldn't say he's rookie of the year contention. I put a lot of weight into how the team performs. Or not a lot of weight, but a pretty good amount of weight about how the team performs. And obviously they haven't been performing well. I think Gwyn's a lock for it right now. We'll see. I mean, obviously there's still 2 more majors left, so. We talk about this rotation too. We fucked up this rotation as well.
It's 2 players against the world. Estriel doing his job. Now it's Fame.
We play this poorly, this rotation.
Instead of rotating, wanted to force the...
And they chain the P4 to the P5. This is, yeah. This is all based on the rotation. Now we're just
in their favor. Looking at a lead change in a moment. Estriel playing as close as he can. Bad timing on the turn. Allows one through. Doesn't matter. Flames is burning hot in the hard point. Gets himself 2 as they retain control. LAG starting to run it up. And Estriel still just perfectly playing with the doors. It finally takes the full flank to go and take him down.
This, I mean, yeah. This, I mean, we break back on in 20 seconds, but they spawn towards P2. This causes chaos where we're spawning different sides. P5 now rotation kind of gets. So not only did we fuck up the rotation in P4, the P5 rotation gets up too.
intro kill, and things
What's good, Dan? How's it going?
LAG struggling to
Danielson.
Maynard getting picked apart along the way. Good news though for Flames, he keeps Shotzi out of the water.
Hey JP, what kind of stats do you and your team analyze or review to improve your guys' game?
This time.
I mean, I don't want to go into some of it, but a lot of team-based stats. I don't really focus too much on player-based stuff. A lot of team-based stuff for review. Are we scoring on 6-star next weekend? Maybe, Dan. We'll see. We got some federal questions out of Dan in the chat. That's crazy.
There's no one else in position. How Flames finds it again. That's going to be streaks now. LAG.
Yeah, but like what Dan said, more team-based stuff. Team-based stuff in terms of maps. Team-based stuff in terms of, let's say, like holds and breaks on hardpoint. Situational things in other, like, in search and destroy. Like, there's a lot of things that you can go over.
He's gone on an 8 spree. So a moment where Flames and his unnatural habitat starts popping off in LA.
What's good, Shiny?
I mean, maybe on cruise control as they rotate towards new.
Well, gameplay's on cruise control. Let's hear how the comms sound with a quick look.
Him while saying and LAG.
LAG.
This is a f***ing setup out of them, by the way.
12 out of Estrels. He's done so much for the squad. Can't slow this hot than Queen Amidala in full re.
They have the guy in time playing like the off angle here. They have one guy front P2, like single. One guy watching outer, and then their entire mid is covered because this guy's playing this absolute creddy corner here. This is like that's like a cred setup, but it works, dude. Look at Ken. He's checking everywhere inside mid for a possible guy here. Doesn't check behind the counter. Hope you're having a fabulous morning. Hope you are too, Mike. Honestly, this setup was good out of them. We just fucked up the rotation both times. The P4 and the P5, we just fucked up the rotation.
Plays like that, maybe get that man that golden bikini. Things are looking great inside of the pool, and LAG built themselves a nice little lead. And Flames, I think, has held the exact same angle in this pool the entire time. And
the pool, using the pool as a heady is actually disgusting.
In 8 spree. So a moment where Flames and his unnatural habitat starts popping off in LAG. I mean, maybe on cruise.
And because of the way that they held that last one, we kind of have a mixy rotation in this, but there's still a chance for us to break it. But I mean, the real gap that separated was that P3 or that P4 P5 chain. Us fucking up 2 rotations in a row like that, basically created this lead, which we have to come back from. JP, great win against LAG. Thank you, but I don't know. I don't think it was a great win. I think there was a lot of that we could have fixed. I think the search we played well, but the respawns were not great. The respawns were for sure losable. I mean, we clutched up obviously, and that's great that we were able to clutch up, but like I don't think it should have got to that point. Like we shouldn't have been down this big in this map. It's because we fucked up 2 rotations in a row. But we make the comeback, which is like obviously it's a sign of like a better team. But you can't be like making mistakes like that against someone like FaZe or something, you know? Yeah, exactly, Warren. We can't rely on those clutches. Like the clutches, like being able to clutch in that scenario is great. Like it shows that you're talented and have good teamwork in some areas and can just overwhelm another team. But to be down in that scenario in the first place is the problem. Think OG relies too heavily on Gunny? No. I think the Gunny can bail you out in situations for sure, but we're not relying on the Gunny. We're just fucking up situations. Yeah, it wasn't flawless, but got the job done. No, double standards from COD community is funny to watch. FaZe loses a map and has a similar series against Ravens, and it's just an off game, but when it's you guys, they need to work on a lot more stuff. I mean, maybe, but I mean, they lost a search. We lost a control, and the 2 respawns were close, or like the 2 hard points. So all the respawns were close. Our search was fine, but it was the respawns that were close, and that's what is the main issue. Like, don't get me wrong, there were a lot of things that we fucked up there. Like, This was not a pretty series. Oh, they didn't have an ant screen here. Ant makes the play here. Ant makes the absolute play in the back here. He basically helps us win this game. If he doesn't make this play, we lose this game. Look at number 2 arrow. He sees this guy, gets through the crack in this little bar setup right here. Gets a free kill on Diamond, right? Pushes to the back. Starts to make the rotation mixing. Number 5 and number 7 both have to look at him. He sees number 7 as he slides. He shoots at him. Kills this guy long first. Turns around, uses this heady to his advantage. Kills Estriel. Gets 3 in the back. They actually spawn on new and spawn mid. But like him doing that buys time for the guys in the front. They still have to worry about him in the back. Number 6 has to worry about him. And now they converge from other areas. Break the hill. Really good play out of Ant. He honestly saves this game for us. Thoughts on college Call of Duty? I think it's great. I think it's a great... First, it's a great way for amateurs to both get like a good education and maybe even a scholarship and play COD still. And I think it's a great like filter system to help improve just the knowledge of what competitive Call of Duty is to like college people, which is great because like the more eyes, especially with that demographic, the better. What's good, Radiation? Do you think performances versus bottom teams are also given by the fact that the team is not going 120%? I wouldn't say they're not going 100%. It's different. I mean, it's just different. Like you're playing a little bit differently, but that's not an excuse for the shit we were doing. I'm not gonna lie. Like the P4 and P5 rotation here where we up was just not an excuse. And even the end of the P3 where we could have held it after breaking it in.
The 10 spree from earlier gets you the cruise to break it open, but for 30 seconds, Optic have shown their willingness to fight for this time, and they're flooding him through white once again. Estriel, he's got the pre-aim, but the pressure is here. Shots are gonna go down. Next few players in line from Optic, well, gonna give it one more go. Dashy.
Do you think we play down to our comp, but when we play the top 4, we kick it another gear? I don't know, maybe. I don't like to use that as an excuse, though. It's a very poor excuse, in my opinion. Playing down to your comp, but who knows? Maybe that's a thing. I think obviously in LAN matches, there's a different effort, and I understand that because it's online match versus whatever. But just because you're going up against a team that's not as good, like in the standings or whatever, it shouldn't mean you play worse yourself. This is another big kill by Ant. Obviously, he doesn't get that kill, but the first one on the hop wall is very important. This one is pretty important just because of the space that Connor would have been able to get for his team to just flood back on into the hill. Like with number 7, number 6 coming on in. What's up, Scrummy? Appreciate the subscription with Prime, Scrummy. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. JP, not that you play down to your comp, but do you think there's an issue because your game plan versus top 4 fade, but the bottom 8 teams play COD differently? Maybe, but again, it shouldn't affect. These were mistakes that we made. I don't like making excuses like that. Oh, they're playing different COD. Yeah, sure, but like, it wasn't. These weren't mistakes that were based off of us trying to adjust to a different type of Call of Duty. These were just mistakes on our end, if that makes sense. And the players know that. Like we talked about this yesterday, or like after the match too. Look at this spawn though. That's an insane spot. I guess we're blocking everything. I don't know. I guess because we got kills towards curve. They spawn curve. Now they're just spawning behind us. That's whack, but whatever. That's the game.
Gets a nice little kill towards the pool, but Shotzi gonna be playing it patient. You need to hunt this man down, or he is gonna pound.
And scaring the P5. Yeah, he makes another play here on the P5.
This work sends it ruthless in the
He gets the 2-piece off spawn here. Like once we break back on into this.
This was such a good hard point for LAG. Optic
Banks versus Nate Shot. Who you got?
no streaks to hit.
Probably Nate Shot. I don't know how much Banks has been playing,
Shotty dives in.
but that'll be
This is first. Can he get a two-piece from this?
fun.
Yes, he can. That's the full break is there. 20 for the win.
In great form on the dive. You got to dive into the pool every single time. I don't care if it's that shallow.
Yeah, they really sent 3. Dude, this looks so trolly.
Nobody does it like
I think Amp played this well, and then they get the kill on Ken, and they just all jump towards like the we call this the divot, like divot side. They all just jump divot,
while you
and you just see him watch the 3 of them, bro. This looks so trolly.
take damage, and now they're lining up for a 3. Maybe overwhelming with just the numbers, but all the clean.
But again, like we make some plays to get out of this, but that P4, P5, the first one is what made the separation crazy, and that honestly just can't happen. Let's go to control.
seeping through and infecting the team, and
Bro, chat, what is with the team nades on us in the controller here, bro?
absolutely bonkers.
And just absolutely